Let us understand pie charts with an interesting example. Meena has planted some flower plants in the courtyard of her house. Every day she collects flowers. Today she has collected jasmine, marigold and rose flowers. Their number are as follows. Let's represent this information in an interesting way. The total number of flowers here is 30 plus 20 plus 10, which is equal to 60. Here the number of jasmine flowers is 30, which is 30 by 60, that is half part of the total number. Similarly, the number of marigold flowers is 20 by 60 part of the total number, that is 1 by 3 part, and the number of rose flowers is 10 by 60, that is 1 by 6 part of the total number. We would consider the value of an entire circle to be 60 flowers. Since the central angle of an entire circle is 360 degree, we can say that 60 flowers represent the central angle of 360 degree. The number of jasmine flowers is 1 by 2 part of the total 60 flowers. We will represent this number from a sector of a circle whose central angle is 1 by 2 multiplied by 360 degree, which is equal to 180 degree, that is half circle. Similarly, the portion of marigold flowers can be represented by making the sector with central angle of 1 by 3 multiplied by 360 degree, which is equal to 120 degree, and the portion of rose flower with a central angle of 1 by 6 multiplied by 360 degree is equal to 60 degree. Here we have represented the division of total number of flowers in the form of various sectors of the circle, a representation in which the data is represented by the sectors of the circle is called a pie chart. A pie chart tells us the relation of a whole to its part. For example, for 30 jasmine flowers, the total number of flowers is 1 by 2 of the total 60 flowers. Likewise, for 10 roses, the total number of flowers is 1 by 6 part of the total number. And 20 flowers of marigold, it is 1 by 3 of total number of flowers. At the same time, the pie chart also helps us to compare in different parts. For example, it can be said that the number of marigold flowers is double and the number of jasmine flowers is triple as compared to the number of rose flowers. The central angle of each sector in a pie chart is proportional to the information represented by it. For example, the central angle representing the number of jasmine flowers is in proportion to the number of jasmine flowers. In this way, the total number is fixed, and if the number of jasmine flowers increases, then the size of the corresponding sector will also increase. Or conversely, if the number of jasmine flowers is less, then the size of the corresponding sector will also decrease. Just think, can we use the unitary method to find different central angles? Let me tell you, we know that the central angle of an entire circle is 360 degree. So, we can say that 60 flowers represent the central angle of 360 degree. In this way, one flower can be represented with a central angle of 360 degree divided by 60 is equal to 6 degree. Now, the number of jasmine flowers is 30. So, we can represent this number by 30 multiplied by 6 degree, which is equal to 180 degree. In the same way, you can get different central angles using the unitary method. Today we have learned to make pie charts. In the next video, we will see some more interesting examples based on pie chart. Related to pie chart. There is a zoo near Mohit's village. There are 720 different types of animals in the zoo. The details of their numbers are displayed in the pie chart shown. Understand the information and answer the following questions. Which animal is lowest in number? We know that the central angle of each sector in a pie chart is proportional to the information it represents. Thus, larger the central angle, the greater is the number represented by it. Or, the smaller the central angle, the smaller is the number represented by it. Here, we see that the smallest central angle is 20 degree, which represents the number of tigers. We can say that the zoo has the lowest number of tigers. Find out how many elephants are there in the zoo. A total of 720 animals are represented here from a central angle of 360 degree. In this way, 720 divided by 360 animals can be represented from a central angle of degree 1. Since the number of elephants is denoted by 40 degree, therefore, from a central angle of 40 degree, 720 divided by 360 multiplied by 40 elephants, that is, 80 elephants are represented. That's why there are 80 elephants in the zoo. Find the difference between number of deers and the reptiles. We know that the central angle of each sector in a pie chart is proportional to the information it represents. In this way, difference in central angles representing deers and reptiles will be proportional to the difference in the number of deers and reptiles. Hence, the difference in the central angles of the two is 100 degree minus 80 degree is equal to 20 degree. Since 720 divided by 360 animals can be represented by a central angle of degree 1, hence 720 divided by 360 multiplied by 20 is equal to 40 animals can be represented by a central angle of 20 degree. In this way, we can say that there is difference of 40 animals in the number of deers and reptiles. Next example, the sale of various electronic items sold from Ankur's shop in a year is given below. Can you represent this information in the pie chart? Try it. We have to find the central angle of sale of each item to draw a pie chart. To find the central angle, we will first add the number of all sold items. 48 plus 24 plus 96 plus 120 is equal to 288. We will consider this as a whole. Therefore, in the pie chart, an angle of 360 degree at the center of the circle will represent the number 288. Now, let's find the central angles representing the number of each object. The number of TV sold is 48 divided by 288 part of whole, that is 1 by 6 part. Therefore, the central angle denoting it will be 1 by 6th part of 360 degree, that is 60 degree. So, what will be the central angle to represent the number of refrigerators? Think. Absolutely right. Since the number of refrigerators is 24 divided by 288 part of whole, that is 1 by 12 part, hence the central angle representing it will be 1 by 12 part of 360, that is 30 degree. Similarly, we find other central angles and draw a table. Now we will show these data in the pie chart. Thus, we have drawn a pie chart to show the information. So today we have seen some examples related to pie charts. In the next video, we will see some mistakes related to this topic. Pie chart. Misconception 1. Amit's earning is rupees 24,000 and Sameer's earning is rupees 15,000. They spend some part of their earnings and save some part of it as given below. Can you find who saves more money? Stop the video and try to find it. Here, how much money Amit have saved is represented by an angle of 60 degree and the amount of money that Sameer have saved is represented by an angle of 90 degree. Some children compare angles to find that Sameer saves more money than Amit. With this understanding, they answer option 2, which is a wrong answer. They do not see the pie chart as a whole and its parts. Here, the total earnings are denoted by a whole circle. In this way, the angle representing the savings made by Amit is 60 degree divided by 360 degree is equal to 1 by 6 of the whole circle. In pie chart, since the central angle of the sector of a circle is proportional to the information represented by it, we can say that here savings made by Amit is 1 by 6th of his earning. That is, savings made by Amit is 1 by 6 multiplied by 24,000 rupees is equal to 4,000 rupees. In the same way, can you find how much savings Sameer will make? Stop the video and try finding it. Let me tell you, savings made by Sameer divided by Sameer's earning is equal to 90 degree divided by 360 degree is equal to 1 by 4. In this way, the savings made by Sameer is 1 by 4 multiplied by 15,000 rupees is equal to 3,750 rupees. So, who saves more money? Absolutely right. Amit saves more money. Hence, option 1 is the correct answer. Misconception 2. 40 students study in Mandeep's class. One day, 5% of total 40 students could not come to school due to illness. If we want to represent the number of students present and absent in the pie chart, can you find the central angle of the sector in the pie chart to represent the number of absent students? Some children do not understand what is given in the question. They take the number of absent students as 5 and calculate central angle 5 by 40 multiplied by 360 degree is equal to 45 degree to represent absent students. They give option 2 as an answer, which is a wrong answer. Here we are given the percentage of absent students. 5% means 5 students are absent in every 100 students. In this way, 5 divided by 100 multiplied by 40 is equal to 2 students out of 40 students. If we represent the total number of students, that is 40, in the form of a whole circle, then the central angle of the sector to represent the number of 2 students is 2 divided by 40 multiplied by 360 is equal to 18 degree. So, the correct answer is option 1. Now, let us see a mistake that happens while making a pie chart. While making the pie chart, children forget to show what information is being represented by different sectors. Because of this mistake, what is represented by the sector cannot be determined and it makes it difficult to get information. Therefore, it is necessary to write the information represented by them on all the sectors of the pie chart. So today we have seen some misconceptions and mistakes related to pie charts.